Today on Forbes, inside AriZona Iced Tea's bold plan to challenge twisted tea. Nearly every inch of Don Vultaggio's factory in Edison, New Jersey, roars with machinery pumping out the sweet smell of tea. But a conference room on the second floor is a quiet sanctum, and that's where, on a warm Wednesday afternoon, the AriZona Beverages co-founder is hosting his company's quarterly sales meeting. Vultaggio, sporting a long-sleeve AriZona shirt and white cargo shorts, wanders among his employees as they sip samples out of tiny paper cups. They're comparing AriZona's lemon and peach hard teas to those of market leader Twisted Tea. Vultaggio, who's 71 years old, says, quote, "When I tried Twisted Tea, I was amazed how bad it was. On our worst day, we couldn't hope to make it taste that bad." Hard tea has overtaken hard seltzer as the fastest-growing malt-based so-called beer alternative, a category that also includes ciders. Over the past year, Americans chugged $1.3 billion worth of hard tea, according to Nielsen IQ, up 40% from the previous year, and nearly all of it twisted tea, which is roughly 90% market share. Vultaggio tells his employees, quote, "We're in a category that has been dominated by a couple of stale brands." He then corrects himself by saying, quote, "It's been dominated by one." But Vultaggio, who already has a $6 billion fortune thanks to his $2 billion in estimated revenue ready-to-drink iced tea, thinks he can take on the hard tea giant Twisted Tea with a superior-tasting product. It's a bold strategy in an industry in which a more delicious drink doesn't always win. Budweiser didn't become the best-selling beer in America because it tastes better than craft beers. But Vultaggio trusts flavor. After all, he got rich by tickling the nation's taste buds. So he recently launched AriZona Hard, a line of alcohol-infused versions of his hit iced tea flavors. Besides lemon and peach, there's a spiked variant of AriZona's best-selling green tea. 9 more flavors are in the works. Vultaggio personally tests as many as 40 to 50 versions of every new drink, paying special attention to the finish. It's a challenging game of catch-up. Twisted Tea has enjoyed more than 2 decades of growth without meaningful competition. Since Boston Beer, the $4.1 billion market cap parent company of Samuel Adams, launched it in 2001. With more than $900 million in 2023 sales, per Nielsen IQ, the tea is now bigger than any of the company's beers. Nick Modi, managing director and co-head of consumer and retail at RBC Capital Markets, says, quote, "When you're the industry leader, unless you totally screw things up, you tend to stay the industry leader. Boston Beer right now is doing a very good job behind Twisted Tea." Luckily for Vultaggio, consumers of hard teas and other ready-to-drink booze, unlike beer drinkers, tend to be younger, less brand loyal, and more prone to chasing fads. In recent years, hard seltzers took off on the back of brands like White Claw and Boston Beer's Truly. Seltzer sales ballooned to $4.7 billion in 2021, but have since shrunk 23%, per Nielsen IQ. Now, spiked teas, though still a much smaller part of the market than seltzers, are taking off. Grand View Research predicts global sales will grow 6-fold to $14.5 billion by 2030. Danelle Cosmal, VP of Research at the Beer Institute, says, quote, "This is the year of hard tea." In 2018, Vultaggio rolled out a spiked version of his Arnold Palmer lemonade iced tea drink with Molson Coors, but at the time, it barely made a dent in Twisted Tea's market share. The recent surge in popularity of hard tea began in late 2020. With the growth, major beverage makers such as Lipton and Dunkin' rushed in too. The number of hard tea brands has roughly tripled since 2019 to 173, according to Bump Williams Consulting. Now, with hard tea demand skyrocketing, Vultaggio is trying again, with AriZona branding and a different primary distribution network than Twisted Tea. So far, AriZona Hard is in 46 states across the country. Molson, meanwhile, partnered with Coca-Cola on a new line, Peace Hard, in September. BWC VP of Analytics and Insights, Dave Williams, says, quote, "It's going to be a battle. There are many bodies along the way trying to go for the crown of Twisted Tea." For full coverage, check out Monica Hunter Hart's piece on Forbes.com. You can also find this story in the October-November issue of Forbes magazine. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.